Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Monday, December 26, 2022. We are in the last week of 2022, and what a week it has been. From the beginning of the year until now, we are here. And just like the Detroit Lions, it has all come down to the last couple of days in the month and in the year. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. And if you have the day off, that you're enjoying it, you spend time with the family over the weekend. No, that was not your audio. That was mine. I had to mute it. Start sneezing, and I never sneeze just once. Usually, it's in sneezes of three. Excuse me. um, but what a weekend, man! And for those of you who celebrate Christmas, the Detroit Lions decided that they were gonna play Scrooge and not do anything for you on Saturday. So I just got to put this disclaimer out here, y'all. I'm a different type of fan. Like, I'm a different type of fan, and before I put that out there, what I'm about to say, I'm not SOL. So let's not go there. I'm not SOL. But I think sometimes that it's so many personalities in this space now that it's people are afraid to speak their mind. And on top of that, the internet is a place, man, where you can get ridiculed. It's like bullying to the next level. And the thing is, you cannot be a bully, but then you find yourself bullying other people on the internet. You know what I mean? You don't mean to. You don't mean to do that. You have to realize that you could be. You know what I'm saying? I don't never consider myself a bully. um, but without even knowing it, you could become a bully. You know what I'm saying? And the reason I brought that up is because, excuse me, I've been in the space for about 5 years. Started doing Detroit Lions content. It was the year leading up. It was actually Jim Caldwell's last year. My first video was when the Detroit Lions got eliminated from playoff contention his last year. I was so frustrated. This is before kind of sports took over YouTube, and I was so frustrated with the team at the time that we lost to like a 4-12. It was a really, really, really bad Bengals team, and they ended our playoff hopes. And it seemed like so long ago that was. Like, we haven't even come close to the playoff since. And I was disappointed. You know what I'm saying? And then that turned into where I am now. A couple channels and stuff like that. So I was one of the first to start doing it with Detroit, but not the first. So the reason I brought all that up is because a lot of people are, this is the end of the road. Lions have 2 games left, and they blew their opportunity yesterday. Or, I'm sorry, not yesterday. I'm confused. I'm a day off. They blew their opportunity on Saturday. And it's okay. It's okay to be disappointed. It's also okay to, like, the Lions fan base is one of the weirdest I've ever seen. We settle for less. We settle for less. And you're wrong if you are disappointed. You're wrong if you are upset that the Lions have a chance to miss the playoffs. It seems like that excuses are made for this team. And you know what I love, man? You know what I love? And I think this really, I think I think Dan Campbell is now my favorite coach. I really do. In the beginning of the year, I didn't know if he could be the coach, if he would make the coaching decisions. We just saw today, Nathaniel Hackett fired. Fired. You can blame that on Aaron Rodgers. That's Aaron Rodgers' fault. Aaron Rodgers, anyway, we'll talk about that in the last segment. Aaron Nathaniel Hackett fired, not even 1 year. He didn't have what it took. You can see it early. He had to hire somebody to help him make decisions. Dan Campbell had a little Nathaniel Hackett in him early this season. The fourth down insanity, the idiotic play calling, right? We got it together. And I believe that Dan Campbell's the guy now. And let me tell you why I say that. I say that because Dan Campbell, what he did on Saturday was something that you would get completely obliterated for. And I love this. Dan Campbell's a competitor. He's a competitor. Like everybody else on that field, Dan Campbell is a competitor. And you know, if you're a competitor, if you're showing good sportsmanship, you can be in a match and you lose that match. What do? You congratulate the other party, right? Dan Campbell tells Steve Wilkes that you absolutely kicked our behinds. Good job. Right? Now, in football, you're told not to help your opponent up off the ground, which, by the way, Russell Wilson's own teammates weren't doing yesterday. But Dan Campbell is a competitor. His team got their behinds handed to him. Forget the field. Forget the field was frozen. They got their butts handed to them. Field didn't affect the Panthers. It sure didn't affect the Panthers. 320 yards rushing. Dan Campbell, and after the game was over, during the press conference, he took responsibility for the loss. It was on me. I didn't have those guys ready. Dan Campbell, I believe, is the guy that can take us there. He might not have the coaching down. He'll get that. He might not be Sean Payton, Bill Belichick. He might not be those guys, the X's and O's guys. But you sure are going to play for him, right? Why did I bring up that? Because I think it's okay for Lions fans to be disappointed. The fact that we could have done something that we haven't done in a long time. And we blew it. I think it's okay to be disappointed. It's okay. You can be one of those fans. It's either two sides. You're either, well, we exceeded expectations. Or you're like me. I'm sad. Do I think the season is lost, or do I think the season was a disappointment? That's a tough question to ask. Because here's the thing, and I said this earlier this season, is that when you can't all of a sudden say that the team, they're playing, this team won 6 of 7 games. They're still 6 of 8. We hung with the Bills. We should have beat them. Come from behind wins. We handled the Giants. We beat the Minnesota Vikings the second go round. We should have beat them the first time. Jared Goff, Dan Campbell saying these are the guys. We're not coming. We're already here. And just because we lost to the Carolina Panthers in horrendous fashion, we can't all of a sudden say, well, you know what, this team wasn't ready. This team wasn't ready. Because last week, the team was ready. That's what I'm trying to say. Is, for me, I'm disappointed. Will this season be a disappointment? It kind of will. It kind of will. Because the whole goal of the season is not how you start, it's how you finish. The Lions have a chance and had a chance to do something that nobody, not even us, had us really at 1-6. And now that chance may be gone. And it's okay to be disappointed. It's okay to see not necessarily not the positive or not be negative, but be disappointed that we had it and we lost it. I'm seeing all these comments about, well, we're this. We're ahead of expectations. If the season ended, I'm still going to be happy because this team, nobody expected this team to blah, 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 right? But that's not true because Dan Campbell expected this team. Jared Goff expected this team. And you, same person that's now giving the Detroit Lions an out saying, well, we exceeded expectations, you just believed it Friday night. I'm not saying you have to be upset and you got to go stomping around and tearing up your house and same old Lions. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I woke up this morning and my feelings are still hurt. They are. We had to see Aaron Rodgers win a game yesterday. This team had it. Yes, I'm disappointed. Yes, I'm sad. Why wouldn't I be? Because this team exceeded expectations? Well, we really weren't supposed to be here. Who cares how we got here? We're here. If the Detroit Lions went to the Super Bowl right now and they lost, you would be sick. for at least a month. Oh, well, at least we made it. And you know what? That's true. We can check that box off. Now it's only 3 teams that's never been to a Super Bowl. But if the Lions lost the Super Bowl, you would be sick. You would be sick. And I think it's okay to feel both ways. But what I don't, I feel like Dan Campbell and the Lions, they're not saying, well, nobody expected us to be here this year. And we're gonna, we're gonna take that, we're gonna hold on to that, and we're gonna embrace the fact that, yeah, we almost I don't think that the team looks in almost. It's either black or white. There is no gray. You know what I'm saying? So am I proud of this team? Yes. Yes, for never giving up. Am I proud of this team for giving me something to actually root for in the month of December? You bet it I am. But at the same time, yes, my heart is still hurt because the Detroit Lions, they had it in their grasp against a team that not only on paper they could have beat, but they got dismantled by this team. Absolutely dismantled. And now, no matter what the Detroit Lions do, they need help from other teams. There is no other way, and we'll talk about that a little more. So let me know. Let me know. How are you feeling? Are you happy that the team exceeded expectations? Or are you like me, just a little disappointed? A little disappointed. Because we had it and we let it go. What's up, y'all? So, yeah, I'm not about to go down this, dark path of SOL and same old Lions and fire this guy and fire that guy. But the defense was horrid. But I'm disappointed, y'all. I'm disappointed. Not gonna lie. Now, I went over it yesterday. I did a video. What's up, Mackenzie? Says it's just disappointing. They did all this fighting back to respectability, but lose like that. Yeah, that's the thing, bro. Greg says I'm done because they had it and dropped the ball. See, there's Greg. That's how Greg is checked out. Dolphins imploding because of Tua. That mess. Let me just say this real quick. So I'm for the first time, I've been playing fantasy football for 3 years. I was a late starter. People have been trying to get me to play it, and I didn't play it. So I finally started getting in it in 2020, the pandemic season. And I had a blast. I'm like, well, how did I not play this? So I'm in a 6-man league. It's the Syndicate league. I have the best record, 11-4. I get to the playoffs. First week was yesterday, or this week. You want to know who showed up? Nobody. Nobody showed up. Justin Herbert throws a couple touchdowns, and I'm done. I am done. All that 15 weeks. 15 weeks. 15 weeks. Okay, now I see Judah. And Judah, you don't bother me, bro. You don't bother me, you know that. I know you can't comment right now. You don't know that. But because you disappeared in week 10 or whatever that was, and I have not seen, you did not come back at all that same day, you ain't allowed in here, bro. Not this week. If I see you, I'm timing you out. Because you was there when y'all was winning, and you disappeared when y'all lost. And I know you still talk your stuff. You've been around long enough. But this week, bro, I'm not tolerant. If I see you, I'm going to hide you. And then I'll unhide you when the game is over. You wasn't there when your team lost back in week 10 or 11. So don't come in here now. And that's with love. I have no issue with you. But if I see you, if you pop back up, I'm going to hide you. I'll unhide you after the week is over. Listen, don't pay him no attention. That's what he does. He good at it. He don't bother me, but the last time we played the Bears, they got the worst fan base on the internet. Like, seriously. Pushing cats downstairs and all that because they team lost. You can't do that. And you sure can't talk mess when they winning and then disappear when they not. So, I got no problem with him. I got a problem with that, though. But check it. Here's where we at. Our team laid an egg. And somebody said something. Okay, Tate says, let me see. What's up, 17? What's up, Woody? That game invited the SOL fans. Hold on, I missed it. Where we at? Where we at? Oh, my fantasy. So anyway, I'm in my first week of fantasy, and I'm losing. I'm about to lose. Justin Herbert going to put me out tonight. What's up, Vision? Appreciate the dono. Says the Ghost of Dude Tribe is the most toxic Bears fans. Yeah, the Bears fans, man, I got very little respect for them because of how they acted during the stream and then pushing my man down the stairs. Not all of them, because all fans aren't like that, but that was terrible. I saw something about, where is it at? I missed it. About the SOL. Lions Fan Express says, season not over. My expectation was 9-8 with the playoff push. Let's win the next game. Nah, bro. Joe G ain't done that this year. Wait, what we talking about? I'm disappointed that our defense did what they did for sure. My team exceeded expectations, got more than 5 wins. He's talking about the Carolina Panthers. Just going to get ready for next year. It's over, man. So Greg, see, that's what I'm talking about, bro. That's what I'm talking about. So let me ask y'all this. And this is what I'll be talking about, y'all. And this is why I say that PTSD is in Lions fans. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's make this segment. I'm gonna call this segment, and I don't know if it's gonna be a one-time thing, but I'm gonna call this segment With All Due Respect. With All Due Respect is a new segment that I created right now. And I'm gonna say this to Lions fans. And just so you know, we like a clean chat, y'all. We got a lot of people watching. Might have some sponsors watching. Maybe they like what we doing. Just keep it clean. That's what I ask. This ain't Wilbur Sports. But with all due respect, we need to win games. We need to get rid of the loser mindset. The SOL, I understand SOL. I really, really do. It is ingrained in us. It has been around for decades. It's hard to shake. It really is. It's hard to say that it is dead. It is. I'm not going to be the guy to say that it's not easy. Of course it's easy. If you have a habit, if you're doing something over and over and over, and then you have to stop doing it, it's going to be, if you smoke, it's going to be hard to stop smoking. It's not easy. SOL is a mentality. But with all due respect, please, for everything that's right, stop relying on this Rams pick. Stop relying on this. The Rams are picking number 7 because they whipped the Denver Broncos yesterday. And I think it's a loser mentality. I really, really do. For the last 2 years, all we have cared about is this Rams pick. Brad Holmes uses it to get Jameson Williams, who we are going to talk about in the next segment. You better believe that. But we got to stop with this loser mentality. What do I mean by that? I understand you wanting the Rams to lose. I get it. Because a Rams loss means a higher draft pick for you. But but what did you think they were going to, if they're winning, you get mad when they win. I want the Rams to win week 18 because it's going to help me get in the playoffs, my team potentially get in the playoffs. Rooting for the Rams to lose is one thing, but relying on this pick to change the defense, it's going to change this team around. It's, to me, the amount of faith that we're putting in this Rams pick, to me, there's no words that I can describe. Lions Twitter is in a uproar because we now have the 7th pick. Well, guess what? It is Brad Holmes' job. And I'm not trying to be funny at all, but Brad Holmes looks weary. Me and him are the same age. As a matter of fact, I may be older than Brad Holmes, but his job has taken a toll on him. He looks weary. He looks beat. He looks battle-tested. It is his responsibility to get the best player available at the position we pick. Can we not forget that Penei Sewell was pick number 7? With all due respect, let that Rams pick go. That Rams pick is one man who will disappear after this year. Will he be a difference maker? We don't know. The Rams came out with Baker Mayfield and destroyed the Denver Broncos. And like our coach, you think our coach is saying, man, that's messed up. According to the Dan Campbell that I saw on the podium Saturday afternoon, he's like, that's what he said. You love this type of stuff if you're a competitor. You think he thinks the Rams is, man, they came out and mollywopped the Denver Broncos. And in doing so, we lost 4 spots. I'm sorry, 3. 3 spots. We pick number 7 now. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it. Because guess what? On April 28th, 29th, whatever it is, and you hear this right here, it's over. The connection is over. You can let it go until the next trade happens. So with all due respect, Lions fans, be better. We're so used to losing that we are relying on this pick from the LA Rams to change the defense. It's just going to make the team better. I remember last year, I was talking and having a conversation with some individuals, and they were telling me how one man was not going to make a difference. We need to get our priorities in order, which is making this team better the best way possible. Can that happen? Would that be better if the Rams got a higher pick? Probably. But I don't see nobody complaining about Sauce Gardner. He was picked after Hutch. He was picked after Walker. Ain't nobody complaining about Sauce. I don't see nobody complaining about Penei Sewell, and he was the 7th pick. I don't see nobody complaining about TJ Hockenson in Minnesota. He was the 8th pick. If you want Anderson, I get it. If you want Carter, I get it. There's other people out there. They may not be to their level, but they're difference makers. With all due respect, Lions fans, losing is something we're used to doing. We got to get over it. We have to get over it. And yes, I do mean this pick. And I know in the comment section, we don't have to get over. Don't tell me what to. Listen, like I said, y'all can sit there and pout from January 9th to April 28th until you hear this. And guess what y'all going to be doing? If the Rams would have won, if the Rams wouldn't have lost, wouldn't have won that game, if the Rams just would have did, you're going to be thinking about that from January the 9th to April 28th. And then if the Rams wouldn't have won that game, then we could have had, get over it. Get over it. That's what we do. If the Rams if we wouldn't have beat the Green Bay Packers, we could have had the first pick. So what, man? I'm over these first picks. I am over them, bro. 100%. 100%. Brad Holmes is supposed to be that guy. Well, let him do his job. Let him be that guy and get us that guy, no matter where we are. Darren, we just talked about the draft, bro. We was just talking about the draft, man, and the Twitter meltdown about the Lions. The Rams have the 7th pick now. And that's all I hear on Twitter. The Lions messed up. We lost out on Jalen Carter and a playoff spot on the same day. Somebody cue up the Stewie soundbite, bro. That's all we do. That's all we do. Get over it. Our coach is a competitor. He dapped up Steve Wilkes for kicking his behind. He overlooking you. What you think the Rams gonna do? Him and Brad Holmes sitting in the war room right now. Well, we ain't picking at 4. So who the next guy up? Who the next guy up? Come on, man. Now listen. We got to talk about something, man. And this going to be a hot topic. So get ready. I'm about to push y'all buttons like the Pussycat Dolls. I'm about to loosen up your buttons right now. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. Because I'm feeling some type of way. You know, there was a show on PBS when I was growing up. It had these guys singing. It was like, doo-bop, doo-ba-dop. No, that's bop. But it was, how did it go? It was like, ooh. Where in the world is, y'all remember that? Well, I got a new one. Where in the world is Jameson Williams? What are we doing here, y'all? What are we doing here? What are we doing? Now listen. I'm feeling some type of way, but I ain't the only one feeling some type of way. Big J-Mo. I love this kid, man. I love Jameson Williams. Absolutely love J-Mo because J-Mo is a young kid who loves the game. He loves the game of football. He slept with the touchdown ball. It was in his bed. And this report's coming out that Jameson Williams, he not disgruntled. He not at that level. But he want the ball, man. And when you a playmaker, you want the ball. I'm not going to label the kid a diva. What I'm saying is, where in the world is Jameson Williams? Now, y'all know how I feel. Y'all, I was the one hooting and hollering that we drafted him when our defense was atrocious. And I'm like, here we go. And everyone's like, oh, Jamie. And this kid he's been a bright spot for the city. Just the hope that we have of wanting to see him play, a difference maker, a playmaker in the city of Detroit. And we don't get to see him. And some of y'all was like, hey, man, put Jameson Williams. He's the future. Put him on the shelf. Because Jameson Williams, he ain't for this year. He for next year, man. But guess what? Y'all was saying that y'all ain't want Jameson Williams to see no action for 2 years. Mr. Poole says no. While he only had 11 snaps, Jameson had DBs literally hanging on him in the game. Jameson Williams is a difference maker. A difference maker. Why is he not making a difference? He been in 3 games. This isn't about Jameson. So I don't want y'all to think I'm talking about Jameson. I'm directing this. I'm trying to see what's the game plan for Jameson exactly. Are we going to throw the ball to him more than once a game? Are we going to try to get him involved in a game? Okay, so Sauce Gardner might have been on him his second game, right? He caught his first touchdown pass. So he's going on his, wait a minute. Jameson Williams has played 4 games. We drafted up to get this guy. And I want to hear it, y'all. I want to hear, nobody expect the Lions to be good this year. I had him at 4 wins. I had him at 6 wins. I had him at 6.5. Nobody, Jameson is for next year. Jameson playing right now. He playing right now. He's on the field right now. Why is he not getting the ball? Okay, Jared Goff and him didn't connect in the Jets game. The defender played good. They tried once a game, but we doing it one time per game. That's Jameson's one deep ball attempt per game. Is that all he's good for? Is a deep ball here and a deep ball there? We traded up to get this guy. We sacrificed our number 32, number 34 picks, and number 60, whatever it was, to get Jameson Williams. Why are we not utilizing him more? Timothy Turbo is going to get the very first Goff don't have the arm to do it. Really? Really? I swear, bro. I swear, man. I'm telling you. Hey, listen. Just so you know, the sun is not really yellow. We actually got the Kryptonian sun. It's red. What your eyes have been telling you your entire life, that the sun has a yellow hue to it, is incorrect, because I, the YouTuber, tell you that the sun is not yellow. So you, the viewer, the follower, the subscriber, is literally supposed to believe everything that I say. Goff doesn't have the arm to do it. Okay. Goff threw a very nice pass to Khalif Raymond. He threw a very nice pass to DJ. We've seen Goff with the arm to do it. What I don't see is Jameson Williams being targeted. That's my problem. Where are the targets for J-Mo? Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. Amon-Ra St. Brown, stud. Over 1,000 yards. Did it faster than Calvin Johnson. But outside of him, why are we not getting our pick, 12th overall, that we sacrificed 32-34, the Rams pick to get Jameson Williams, and he's not being utilized? That is my question. This ain't about Jameson Williams' skill set. This is about why are we not getting him utilized? He's played 4 games, if I'm not mistaken. 4 games, right? Showed up in the one game. I can't remember which one it was. Ran out of bounds. Looked rusty. Second game, caught a touchdown. Third game was against the Jets. Yesterday was game 4, or Saturday, I'm sorry. Game 4. We gave up this capital. Our defense sucks, okay? And we need to get our weapon involved. Nick says they are being cautious. Well, Nick, if they're being cautious, he don't need to be on the field. He don't need to be on the field, bro. They're being cautious. It's been almost a year. It really is. If he wasn't ready game 1, he not going to be ready game 5. Like, you know what I'm saying? Eric says, J-Mo needs to be on the field more, but Goff didn't even look at him the few plays I saw. Maybe more of a chemistry issue than we think, especially when he's connecting with Rod, Chark, Reynolds, and Leaf. It could be. Okay, but according to Mr. Poole, the Lions had, well, we knew this. They had about, 70 snaps, somewhere around there. And Jameson Williams was on the field for 11. Now, if we compare that to a DJ Chark, a Josh Reynolds, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, then what is the comparison there? No matter what is happening, even if it's on Goff, that Goff and, it's a chemistry thing and he's not looking at Jameson Williams, well, he needs to. He needs to. And it needs to be on not the same play every single week. Up, up, up. Here's Goff. Back to throw. Stepping up in the pocket. Launches one to Jameson Williams. Oh, we have to get the kid more involved. We have to keep, that's my point. My point is we have to get the kid more involved. Whatever it is. Dern says, do we think that Goff needs more time with J-Mo? Took 6 games with Chark to get a connection. St. Brown half a year to get going with Goff. Dern, that could be true. But I gotta believe this. So they're practicing, right? J-Mo is practicing. We can say it's been a month now, right? And Nick is actually took the words out of my mouth. Throw J-Mo a screen, pass, or slant. I think they tried to do that, and it was incomplete. I feel like I saw a screen. But being on the field for 11 offensive snaps, and you're the 12th overall pick, I got a problem with that, man. I do, and I just want. We have an opportunity to do something here, and I want us to do it. So the question that I have for the viewer is, do you feel that the Detroit Lions need to get Jameson Williams involved more? Let me know. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend, man. It was long for me, bro. We got a little snow. It was freezing. It was freezing cold on Friday. It was 1 degree. It felt like negative 21. And then Saturday, it was 8. Right? Yes, Dern. We are definitely going there. So I hope everybody had a good weekend, man. If you man. So we got to talk about something, man. And one thing about fans, man, I think we have a short attention span. I think you have like a gnat. And I'm not trying to compare fans to gnats, but you know what I mean, like the attention span of a gnat, because we have zero patience, right? And I understand. What's up, Denzel? With the dono says, sometime this is on Ben Johnson, play it. Some this is on Ben Johnson. Wait, some this is on Ben Johnson, it play. Okay, Denzel, one more game, bro. One more game. I appreciate it. Not the dono, but what you trying to say, bro? I think that some of it is on Ben Johnson. Eric says, I love to see J-Mo in the reverse. Take the chemistry out of it. Let him work. Eric, I like that, bro. I like that, man. But some Lions fans will have a natural fit. A natural fit. All right. So this actually surprised me a ton. I'm trying to see if they bring specific info in here, but they don't. I don't see specific info. Oh, boy. All right. So it's two guys that I want to talk about, and this is about to be another hot take. All right, so this is going to be a hot take, man, and I'm not trying to beat our guys down. I'm not trying to, talk down about them, but this is all about play on the field and issues that we seem to be having. And I have a legitimate question for you guys. I seem to think that the 2020 running back class in the first two rounds between Clyde Edwards and J.K. Dobbins, that something is wrong. Maybe it was the curse of COVID. I don't know. But two guys that came out that year, it's weird. They were both playing at a very high level the first half of the season. One got injured. The other one kind of got injured. The two guys I'm referring to is DeAndre Swift and Jeff Okudah. Jeff Okudah was benched on Saturday. Our top cornerback was benched on Saturday. I know that it's more of a pat on the wrist than anything. It's not. Jeff Okudah is not this month's Omani. Omani has we have barely seen that brother since he got benched. But Jeff Okudah and DeAndre Swift, what's going on with these guys? And you know what? More specifically for me as DeAndre, we talked about, I don't know if y'all understand like what confidence is. And to be honest with you, I think with DeAndre Swift, it's a confidence thing. I really, truly believe that. The kid was balling out of control until he got hurt. And from that, he has never been the same. I said in the offseason that DeAndre Swift could be trending Kerryon Johnson. And this is where y'all going to get upset. Some of y'all going to get mad. But it's my job to not, be a yes boy. That's my job. I'm not going to be a yes man. There's too many yes men on YouTube right now. They said you do it. I'm not sure if DeAndre Swift gets a second contract with the Detroit Lions. I'm not sure at all. I'm not sure. Will the Detroit Lions pick up Jeff Okudah's fifth year option? Those are two solid questions. We gave Jeff Okudah the 3-year bus protection. As a matter of fact, if y'all don't know, State Farm offers 3-year bus protection. If you were drafted in the first round and you have 3 years to prove yourself before you can get the bus label slapped on you. 3 years bus protection. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Right? I'm not calling Jeff Okudah a bust. That's not what this is about. This is about him getting benched against the Carolina Panthers. And this is also about DeAndre Swift, who doesn't look like he has it. Now, I'm going to say something, all right? I would take Cam Akers over DeAndre Swift. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Cam Akers, he knows what he's good at, and he does it. Cam Akers hits the hole. DeAndre Swift, what is this between the tackles things that they're doing with DeAndre Swift? That's not who he is. That's not who he is. DeAndre Swift is not that guy. Get him a screen pass. Get him out in the flat. Get him on a wheel route. He's not that guy. And my question to you is why? What happened? The confidence level. The confidence level of DeAndre Swift. The kid got talent. We seen it. We saw it in Hard Knocks. He lacks the confidence. Deuce Staley was trying to tell him that. We've seen him cut it outside when he was supposed to cut it inside. Where is that DeAndre Swift that caught that pass against the Rams, tripped and took it to the house? Is he still in there? Is he still in there? The run game has disappeared. Jamal Williams has not seen the end zone in 3 games. I cannot believe that. By the way, Jamal said he was Gucci as far as his injury. That means good. But Jeff Okudah benched DeAndre Swift. What's happening? That's what I want to know. So let me know what you think. Has the clock run out on DeAndre Swift and Jeff Okudah? Both of them will most likely be on the team next year. I'm getting concerned, y'all, that DeAndre Swift won't even be in the NFL come year 6. That is 100%. I think he will, because the talent is there, and I think but you know what else? Maybe DeAndre Swift is the next Amir Abdullah, who finds a way to stay in the NFL, but was never drafted, has never played like what he was drafted to do. Let me know what you think, man. DeAndre Swift, Jeff Okudah benched. What's going on with them two guys? Is it the curse of 2020? I don't believe in curses. I like the phrase COVID curse, but let me know. All right, so as far as Skol affiliated, you came and you interrupted me during a segment. That's a no-no. And number 2 is I have run out of patience with you. Period. Ain't nobody talking about your raggedy team, bro. Nobody's talking about your team. And yet you in here running your mouth. So that was the last time. So I hope you can hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. And don't do that, bro. This guy. Your team be fortunate to make it past the first round. These people. But Darren wanted to talk about the defense. What happened? I'm hearing that the Lions are, Jared Goff was the first one to talk about the field. So Carolina doesn't have heated coals underneath their field because why, right? It's Carolina. So they never thought about it. They said it was like 9 degrees on the field the other day or something like that. It was freezing. And the turf was like, okay, who is Demetrius Johnson, former Lions safety, passed away. Oh, man, that must have been a long time ago. They got the old logo and the big helmet. I mean, the big shoulder pads. But the defense, man. Aaron Glenn is going nowhere. Aaron Glenn he will, as far as he ain't going to another coaching job, that's for sure. Ain't nobody going to hire him. What that mean was, ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody hiring Aaron Glenn. Your defense is bottom 3, bro. You're not going nowhere. But the issue is, and this is a real question, y'all. Like, I'm not trying to spark controversy. This is an actual question. And I want you guys' opinion. Troy says, why would you say that about Swift? First of all, who is you and what did you say? Eric says, Okuda has played top-notch corner most of the year. He had a bad game after most not playing the week because of sickness. Okay. You got to be having a really bad game to get benched. We saw the game that got Amani Warrior banished to the bench. He has been banished 1 or 2 sightings. We play scared because against Carolina, everyone played like they didn't want to get hurt or hit. That was the bottom line of this game. They talked about how the field was before the game. Okay. So what you saying? Is that a good thing, K-Sports, or what you saying, bro? Jags fans cannot believe how we ripped them, and they've been fine. Yeah, they've been fine. You mean the Jags or the Jags fans? Okay, but so you're telling me, I'm just trying to, KP, we're talking about the defense, and you're saying that the defensive guys didn't want to, because the offense seem to be okay. Like, they were okay. But that offensive holes, bro, and the middle line was crazy. They allowed the Carolina Panthers to rush for 320 yards. 320 yards on the ground. And we were talking about Aaron Glenn. Let me ask y'all a question. I'm very curious to know. Listen, this phrase that we have heard, and I want y'all to listen very carefully because I heard this a few years ago, and it was from an NFL player. I can't remember who it was. But there's a saying that says winning cures everything. That is false. 100%. You know what winning does? Winning covers everything. It does. Our defense was not cured because we started winning. The holes in our defense were not cured, were not fixed because we started winning. They were still there. The plays were being made. The scheme might have been a bit better, but the holes and the problem still exists. We got the same players we had. Only difference, a Kaminsky there, a Romeo here. Winning covers everything. Losing, whoa, buddy. Everybody is out now. All of a sudden, Aaron Glenn. Dern says getting busy at work. All I want to say is Aaron Glenn is awful. Is an awful DC. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. Aaron Glenn will not be a coach in the National Football League, not this year. And I tell you what, the Denver Broncos are probably glad they didn't hire him. They just fired their guy 2 hours ago. Aaron Glenn ain't going nowhere. But the question I have for y'all is, should Dan Campbell move on from Aaron Glenn this offseason? Now, I hear that if Sean Payton comes back to coaching, he wants Vic Fangio on his staff. Do you believe that the Detroit Lions should, not will, do you believe that they should move on from Aaron Glenn at the end of the season? Vision says winning gives confidence and also cockiness. That could be true. 10 says Lions needed this beating. Sometimes you need to be humbled. You also find out who really hates to lose. I like that, bro. I like that. That's a quality statement. 2K says, no, keep Glenn. We need him. Excuse my take says, if we get rid of him, who will we get? Oh, man, the list is endless. It's a lot of guys we can get. A lot of guys with coaching experience. Who they looking at, I have no idea. Nate says that would put Dan in a dark place if he had to do that. Nate, that is, you get the second air horn of the day, bro. Nope, I'm sorry. That's the one. My bad, bro. I hit the wrong button. Actually, that's the first air horn of the day. That's the first air horn. My bad, bro. I messed that second. I hope messed that whole thing up. That's actually the point of this topic. Why we're bringing this up. Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn, that's his guy. Right? The same way Matt Patricia was Bob Quinn's guy. Okay, so I got to ask you a question. Should the Detroit Lions move on from Aaron Glenn? He had the worst defense. We had the worst defense for the first half of the season. Over the second half, though, it has been, up until this game against the Carolina Panthers, it has been, I want to say, top 5 or 6. So it's the tale of two halves. It's the tale of two seasons. So the question that I have for the viewer is, Aaron Glenn has showed the ugly side of his defense, and he showed the good side of his defense. Lions have 2 games left. What do you think? Do you think that Aaron Glenn is safe? Do you think he should be fired? Or do you think that his fate is going to come down to the last 2 games of the season? That's the question that I have. And for me, it's tough. It's tough because you fire Aubrey Pleasant, the team begins to win. And this game here, okay, I know it. It's not tough. Here's what we do. Nate says he is not safe. His fate is on the line, 2 running teams. I was just about to say that, bro. That's actually where I was going to go. This is my final answer. And I'm here to ruffle some feathers, bro. My final answer is this. If the defense goes back to the early part of the season, then Dan Campbell needs to move on. Period. Dan Campbell, it is a fact he needs to move on. If, then that the Detroit Lions can finish the season like the second half of the season, I give him the first quarter of next season. And if we're not improved, I'm not going to put a number on it. I'm not going to say top 10, top 15. If we're not improved vastly, let me ask y'all, if the defense is ranked, let's say it's ranked 30 right now, what would you consider a vast improvement? A vast improvement. Don't forget now, we've got the Rams pick. We've got our picks. I don't believe the Lions are taking a quarterback with that first pick or their pick in the first round. They're going to go defense, in my humble opinion. That's what I think. I think we may not see an offensive player until the later rounds, or the mid rounds, I'm sorry. Derwin says no change. No change. Vision and Cassandra say 15. Excuse my take. Says top 15. So let me get this straight. So you're saying that for Aaron Glenn to be safe after our draft, and I say we take, again, 3/4 of this draft will be defense. The free agent pool is not that big on either side of the ball. It's like 1 or 2 top guys coming out as far as the free agent pool. Top 15. Dern says if your first picks are on defense that just doesn't improve, he needs to go. Okay, no, Dern, that's what I'm asking. I'm asking that. What is that improvement? Significant improvement. Substantial improvement. Because, see, y'all being, I'm saying maybe like 24, 25. I'm saying that. But y'all saying top half of the league. Lorenzo says just be a competent defense every week. Well, I'm hearing top 15. So let me know what you think. Should Aaron Glenn be let go? Yes or no? And if he does make it to next season, where does our defense have to rank? So I'm saying top 20. I'm saying I believe the change. Okay, I believe the change in schedule had the squad come out lethargic. I can't believe we talking about this. The last 6 weeks squads we don't elevated. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking about? You might have came in the show late, bro. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Cause you come on, man. Because if you're talking about Aaron Glenn, like I said, maybe when you first got here, that winning covers everything. Okay. God says I can't agree with this. Dan Campbell needs to move on. He's the best thing that has happened to Detroit. Okay. In the last 10 years, Aaron Glenn, on the other hand. Okay, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Nobody that I know talking about Dan Campbell. What are y'all talking about, man? See, it's hard to read the chat because I don't know if y'all having conversations with me, somebody else in the chat. I have no idea. Nate says top 15 wins the division, not being in the 20s. Hey, I have no idea, Doug. I have no clue, bro. I just said what? I can't agree with this. Dan Campbell needs to move on. He's the best thing that happens to Detroit in the last 10 years. Glenn, on the other hand, what are we talking about? I'm asking you, the chat, if Dan Campbell should move on from Aaron Glenn. And if so, why? If not, why? My opinion is, if he finished the season strong like he did the middle of the season, the second half of the season, I give him the first quarter of next season. And if we in the bottom, if week 32, come the bye week, he out of there. Yeah, that's what I said, bro. Nobody's talking about Dan Campbell. I started the show off saying that Dan Campbell is now my favorite coach because he doesn't use excuses. He is my favorite coach. No. I'm not talking. See, that's what I'm saying, bro. But it's good. It's good. Dan Campbell is my favorite coach because he took that beating like a man. He took it like a man. And while we all crying about where the draft pick gonna be, he actually applauded his opposition for stomping them down. And he applauded the fact that they came out there and got manhandled. And that's what a real competitor does. A competitor appreciates a battle. Y'all ever seen the movie The Gray? Dan Campbell now, he is Liam Neeson from The Gray. 100%. Into the fray. The last great fight I'll ever know. Dan Campbell is Liam Neeson in the fray, bro. And the alpha wolf against an alpha man. I love it. And I'm not saying that makes him a good coach. I think he needs to get better, and he will learn coaching decisions. We can all agree he's better than the unemployed Nathaniel Hackett, who had to hire somebody to help him. But I like Dan Campbell because Dan Campbell was part of the 0-16, 0-18. He was part of that team. He knows what it feels like to lose. So if anybody knows what losing feel like, it's Dan Campbell. But at the same time, he's not sitting here complaining about the draft pick and, the Rams are winning. He's not making excuses for his team's poor showing. Elevated, you only get 167 characters? It's 200, bro. You have 200, my brother. Hey, use them extra 33, man. But let's wrap the show up with this, yo. Let's wrap. You know, I didn't know YouTube does that. So I'm not saying this for y'all to do this, but I didn't know that. So you get 200 characters. If you super chat like a certain amount, you get 250. And I never knew that YouTube did that. That it's a 200 character minimum or maximum. And I didn't know that it goes up with. I'm not saying do that, y'all. I'm just saying I didn't know that until I sent my own super chats. I'm putting them in, and the higher you go, the more you can say. So, but that was just something crazy. All right. So we have one last segment. And this one is going to be close to my heart. Okay? And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all that I need you. No, okay, so Gaddy, if you super chat so much, it's 50. If you super chat like 10, it might be so more, but it's something crazy. Like, you can see it as you're typing, but here we go. Wait, what you say, House? Okay. Wait a minute. Dim Sum, I ain't seen you in a Ratchet and Clank light year, bro. Good to see you, my friend. The past is the past, but I don't forget. Never forget. Never forget. The past is the past, but it shapes the future. And that's why your boy is here right now. So this is I'm going to talk about it. And this is going to be our last segment. If you don't want to talk about the playoffs, now's your chance to leave. So there's your warning. Give you the Jeopardy theme song, chopped in half and divided by 4. All right? If you're still here, we talking playoffs. The Detroit Lions went from the ability to the ability to be in the 7th seed. And I get y'all, man. I get how you guys can go back to SOL. It's very easy. For those of you listening, SOL is not a year thing. It is ingrained. It is like in our DNA. It's like white blood cells. Right? So I understand. I understand. And for those of you who can shake it, I understand. If you can't shake it, I understand. It's not easy. Now, for me, I have shaken the SOL moniker. And I refuse to go back. And when something like Saturday happens, I did not think SOL. What is SOL? Same old Lions. And I think that I understand how tough it is. I do. For me, I've made the choice. I've seen enough. I'm not going back there. But it's the choice that I made, and you have their choice. You have your choice. Now, we're talking playoffs. That's right. Come on, y'all. Don't. Where are we at? Y'all done lost faith in the team now? Team got manhandled by the Carolina Panthers. Dan Campbell said they were more hungry. That's why when you at the top of the mountain, bruh, you got to come down. You got to see what the peasants are doing, so to speak, right? If you the king, sometimes you got to put on that cloak and you got to go out and see what your people going through, right? The Detroit Lions got humbled. I can't believe I'm saying humbled and Detroit in the same sentence, especially after starting 1-6, but they got humbled. Took a mollywhopping on the ground. Every time a running back touched the ball, I want to say it was one specifically, he had a first down. The other one had like 7 or 8 yards of carry. Every single time. For me, I'm on playoffs because I watch. If you're not, that's fine. But don't go back and start stabbing his team in the back. I've been stabbed in the back enough for everybody on this platform. Don't go back and start stabbing the Detroit Lions they had a bad showing. They still won 3 in a row. They still had their second 3-game winning streak. They still are 6 of 8. They got beat by the Carolina Panthers, who were a better team on that day. And did you really think the Lions were going to finish the season on a 7-game winning streak or whatever it was, 6 or 7? Right? It's the same team. And you're going to get one or two things. You're going to get the Carolina team or you're going to get the team that won 3 in a row twice. But here we go. Here we go, y'all. This is the end of the road, like Boys to Men. We are here, the last 2 games of the season. And the Detroit Lions can no longer control their own destiny. They could have done that at 10-7. All they had to do was win. Win, and they were 96% in. Now, not so much. If the Washington Commanders win 2 games and the Seattle Seahawks win 2 games, the Lions are out. If the Lions win 2 games and the Commanders and the Seahawks lose 1 game, they go 1-1, we're in. And we got the off chance, but not so off chance, that the Giants can fall and not win a game, which would help out 2 teams that's fighting for those last 2 spots. But the Detroit Lions are still in this thing. See, y'all not talking playoffs. Y'all done given up. We have not moved. We're still number 9. Did we give up the opportunity? You're right. You're right, we did. But Jared Goff cannot be our leading rusher on the team with 15 yards. Something has to change. Maybe this was what the team needed. Dan Campbell seems to think so. A lot of you in the chat seems to think so. That our Detroit Lions needed to be humbled. Again, Detroit, humble, same sentence. Or humbled. Not humble, but humbled. Meaning you're no longer humble. You have to be humbled. You have to be brought down to earth. The Detroit Lions are not in a worse position than they were necessarily, but they're also not in a better one. They had the opportunity to right now give you an early Christmas present, if that's your thing, to open up and see your Detroit Lions in the 7th seed. Everything that needed to happen happened except them pesky Packers winning the game. And now your Detroit Lions must win. Well, they can lose, but you have to have a miracle on 34th Street. The Lions can lose 1 game and still get in, but the right things have to happen. But if the Lions lose and the Commanders win on Sunday, the Lions are mathematically eliminated. And I'm going to tell you what, like I said when I started the show, that is going to hurt me. I don't know about you, but for me, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. Yeah, it's going to hurt. Should we really have been playing meaningful football in December the way we started? Not really. Not really. If the Detroit Lions win and the Packers lose, if the Lions or Commanders win and the Packers lose, the Packers are done. If Green Bay win out, we can't lose nothing. If Green Bay wins out, Green Bay goes to the playoffs. How about that? How about that? If the Washington Commanders lose, they have to lose at least 1. The Packers can't lose. The Lions had 1 loss, and that was Saturday. Solo says, I'm scared of Fields this week. Yeah, I understand. You should be. You should be. His feet, anyway. But I haven't given up on the team, man. I haven't given up on the playoffs. Because they are still a real thing. A very, very real thing. 100%. If the Detroit Lions win this game, it will all come down to week 17. Week 18. You hear what I'm saying, Lions fans? Y'all remember that song? Don't give up. Please don't give up. I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to ask you to pick a side. Pick a side. You either on playoffs or you're not. If I could take a screenshot of y'all right now, I would, and I would remember this time. You either on playoffs or you're not. If the Lions win, everything comes down to week 18. And week 18 is going to be a show like you've never seen. I'm telling you right now, week 18 is going to be crazy in the National Football League. All right, y'all talking playoffs. I like it. Well, what has to 100% happen is the Lions have to win. Show out for the fans. Give them what they came to see. Stop Justin Fields. Win this game. Go to 8-8. And have a showdown with a the Green Bay Packers, who are either playing for everything or nothing. Everything or nothing. I haven't lost faith, man. Our margin, we had one game to drop, and we dropped it. That's it. And without Mary Poppins and her bag of tricks, we cannot lose. There's a way we can lose again and still make it. But we would need that bag, that endless pit of bag, for us to make it. She would have to pull out losses for Washington twice, losses for Seattle twice, and losses for the Giants twice. I think they still got a chance. But if they lose they can also be eliminated on Sunday. It's going to be one or the other. We're either going to go into Week 18 with everything on the line or nothing. So let me know your thoughts on the Lions in the playoffs. Have you given up, or are you still holding out hope? Man, listen, I appreciate y'all. I wish that this show was Saturday. I wanted to talk about this team so bad, and you know, I'm thinking about how y'all like to talk about this team as well. Like, even when I was streaming, we were still talking about the team. And I just say this one last thing before I get off. One last thing before I get off. Listen, we've talked about this guy endless amount since January 2021. And I'm going to be the second YouTuber after Detroit Lions Forum to do this. But I'm going to say it, man. Jared Goff is my quarterback. He's my quarterback. Jared Goff is up for FedEx Player of the Week. 355 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and a passer rating of 110.7. I don't want to take a quarterback. Not in the first round, not in the second round. Can we get a backup? Absolutely. Can we get a rookie to sit behind Goff for emergency training and potential succession? Absolutely. Do I want to waste a first-round pick on a quarterback? I do not. Not when our defense got gashed like they did on Sunday. Jared Goff, for what is this, y'all? The third or fourth time this season that he's been up for a FedEx Air Player of the Week? Did the fumble change the game? It did. It did. Whose fault was it? Was it Frank's fault? Was it his fault? We lost. I'm sick about it because it ruined Jared Goff's streak of no turnovers, because I'm sure that goes on him. And it gave all the momentum to the Carolina Panthers. But they were already gashing us every time they touched the ball. You know what we do need, though? We need linebackers. You know who we do? We do need secondary. Because once they got past that first line of defense, it was off to the races. Everybody was chasing these guys down. We've seen that in the offseason. What did we talk about? We talked about linebacker. That is why I lost my stuff when we drafted Jamison Williams. We had Alex Anzalone. We picked up Chris Board. Those guys. And Anzalone has been playing really, really well this year. He looked like the Alex of old on Saturday. But Jared Goff, man, what more can we ask for? But that's how we are as Lions fans. And I want y'all to do this for me, please. Do this for me. On this platform, man, we just like y'all. We have an opinion. That's it. We just put it on this platform. Y'all can do it too. But don't just hang on everything we say. If you're going to dislike a quarterback, do some research. If you're going to dislike a quarterback, look at the entire team. Every time something goes wrong, it seems to fall on Jared. It's like, you ever seen that Homer Simpson meme where Homer comes out the bushes? When Jared is playing well, they're in the bushes. Soon as he start playing one thing, they pop out. The third or fourth time this year, JG, number 16, has been nominated for FedEx Air Player of the Week. Again, no interceptions. You can put the fumble on cold weather. I saw the Packers hand off to Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon? It's one of these games, and nobody had anything. The fumble, the exchange was horrid. It happens, man. But I'm rolling with JG. I've been like that from day one. Never changed. There's a guy who was a top quarterback for 9 of his 10 years in the league. His name is Russell Latavius Murray. What's his name? Russell Latavius Wilson. Top quarterback. Denver gave the farm for this guy. And he looks worse than Jared Goff did last year. Russell Wilson did not become a bad quarterback. And now they are trying to find the guy that is going to help him reach old status. It happens. I've been saying it all year long. Russell Wilson is this year's Jared Goff. And I really, 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 really think that y'all not going to miss what y'all have until it's gone. I truly believe that. I think that at least 2/3 of the league, half to 2/3 would take Jared Goff. The Washington Commanders would take Jared Goff. You know why Goff is such a hot topic? I made a video in the offseason about Jared Goff being traded, and it blew up. 8,000 views. Believe you me, if Jared Goff got traded anywhere, it would be a giant story. If the Lions decided to trade Jared Goff, it would be a giant story. I think the Commanders would take him. I think the Jets would take him. I think the Giants would take him. You're not going to miss what you have until it's gone. Jared Goff, man. What is this? 7 games, 6 or 7 games with no interceptions. He broke a record last game that unfortunately, because of that fumble, is over. And it's a shame that, again, it has to go on him. It would have been another game that was blemish-free. But that's my quarterback, man. And I will not be wishy-washy. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to see a couple creators on this platform that they're going to wish-wash. I'm telling you right now. But that's what they do. So let me know your thoughts. Are you riding with JG? Or are you ready to move on? Appreciate you guys, man. Don't forget, tomorrow, Touchdown Detroit Lions will be on. Nick will be hosting that at 5 o'clock, our time, Eastern Standard. And I'm sure he's going to have a lot to say about tomorrow's loss. I believe that Mr. Pike is on schedule for Saturday as well. But before we get off, y'all, I just got to say, y'all have come out, man. Y'all have come out to support not only your boy, but what I'm doing, man. What we're doing. Nick, me, Syndicate Sports Detroit. Y'all have come out to support. We're going to talk about the Michigan Wolverines later in the week because they got a big game ahead of them. We're going to talk about that, but I appreciate y'all, man. The channel, over almost 1,200 subscribers, going on 3 months. And we just now getting started. You will see me on camera. I will not be behind the mask all the time. Look for that to happen in the new year. I'm trying to look at overhead lighting and studio lighting and desk and how can I control my computer not sitting right up on it, all of that stuff. I don't have a producer, but I really, really appreciate the support that you guys have shown Syndicate Sports Detroit. I really do, man. It means a ton. It means a lot. It means a lot, man. And I just cannot put it into words other than say thank you. Thank you for supporting the vision. Thank you for supporting me, for supporting David, for supporting Nick, and the other cast that we're going to get. I'm not done. It's just very difficult to find creators that are willing to put forth the effort. I'll say that. But I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. Tate, Yes, I will be doing. I'm actually going to do the Alabama game as well. Alabama, Kansas State on the Gridiron Blitz. I'm going to be doing that game. Going to see if YouTube shuts it down, and if they do, then we'll be in rolling. And Michigan and Georgia, they should shut those games down. So I am definitely going to. But again, y'all, we just getting started. I'm looking for Michigan people, Red Wings people, Pistons. If only the Pistons, they don't have my heart anymore, man. If only they had my heart, bro. If they had my heart, I would be there. I would be there. But I'm not done. We just getting started. We just getting started. So I appreciate y'all. None of this stuff is personal, man. And listen, Lions we almost there. We almost there. But means a lot, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I will see you in the next one.